everyone. Welcome to another interesting episode of Just a Chat with Bunmi Alabi. Yes, we are here to show up again, and all by the grace and mercy of God that has kept us, kept you at high to see this beautiful day. And let me ask you this, as I usually do, how are you doing? I know a lot of you, maybe you have some issues, you have some things you have gone through maybe for the past weeks, and you are trying to ask questions like, God, when will this be over? God, when are you going to do this thing for me? Or you are worried about it, some things you've been trying to fix and it's not been working. I'm giving you a word this morning that the fixer is going to fix it for you. Just rest your mind because God is aware of everything you are going through. So He's going to sort it out for you. Just believe. All right. Oh, this morning I'm not alone. I have amazing people that are here on set with me. And this topic this morning, please don't stand up from where you're sitting. Just click, just stay tuned because this topic is something that you need to really listen to and also drop your comment because I know everybody, there's nobody that wouldn't say they've really had this encounter or maybe you have gone through this one way or the other. Stay tuned and don't leave that space. With me here for this interesting topic, I have wonderful people around me. And let me start from my Sherry Coco here. I have with me Miss Tosi Adeyemi. I like that Sherry Coco. That name just came.
There's one. Did you just bring that?
I know of a guy that named Sherry Coco. He's a dark guy, very, very dark, and
Mine are very, very dark.
You are dark and beautiful.
No, but not very, very.
So I went it is very, very.
I know, don't
like
very,
chocolate. So what do you now want to call my husband?
Maybe very.
I love dark. I love that even for female child. If God were to give me a female child, I love that girl to be dark.
Wow.
Yes, I love dark. When I see dark beauty, I always appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so
You're welcome.
much.
So how are you doing?
Doing well. We're pushing it. Yeah, we are where we are by the grace of God.
By the grace of God, yeah. And work, family.
Yeah, all doing
well. You're not even looking like somebody in this country.
You don't have to look
like you are fresh, like today's bread.
It's makeup. Or you don't have to look like what we are going through.
Absolutely, because we've got God and we've got each other, we've got friendship, good relationship that keeps us going even when things are not looking the way we expected it. So I think that's it. Having good people around you and trusting God, yes, keeping your hope alive that yes, everything will still be okay. We don't need to look like what we are going through.
We don't.
At all.
On God.
all on God. Yes, we give it back. And right here with me is our one and only perfect gentleman on seat today. Please welcome with me Mr. David Akimbolejo.
Thank you so
AKA
much.
Pastor David, AKA Daddy Impeccable, AKA Father of Nation, AKA that is plenty.
And so on and so forth.
And so on and so forth. I always give it to him.
I am here.
Yes, you are here. Yes, with us today. You are here. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you for always coming whenever we call you because, honestly, I just have to say this because a lot of people always wonder that, okay, why are they always showing up? We're not showing up because we just want to show up, but because we have substance to give. And I have people of substance that can share their experience, teach us things. These are professionals that if you go meet them, they are going to charge you. But they are here to just share from the pool, their pool of experiences with you today. And please just stay tuned and learn from them. So it's just a chat, once again, just a chat, not a serious matter, but it is just a chat and something for you to go on with. All right, today, Tosin, this topic I want us to discuss is something that it's been bothering me. And I think we've discussed it some times ago, but I think we still need to talk about it. Today, I really want us to talk about something that a lot of families don't like to admit, and it is something that do happen in most families, except people that maybe they are the only one in that family, honestly. But honestly, if you are 2 or 3 in a family, there's no way you won't experience this. And this issue is mostly caused by my gender. I can't say about the other gender, but I don't know. And the question is, why do siblings always have issues after they are married? Maybe after a woman. I don't want to say maybe after a man, after a woman comes into their marriage. Or maybe I should just generalize it. Why do siblings have issues once they are married? I'm sure you got that question.
Yes.
Why do siblings that maybe a family where there is love, maybe things have been going on smoothly in that family, and once a new person, whether a male or female, but I think basically maybe 90%, I'm not sure, but I think if we were to check the statistic,
Yeah.
90% issue are caused by maybe when there is a female entering that
Family.
more than maybe when there is a male entering the family. So why do we let me start from you before we ask our professional marriage counselor here. So I'm sure you must
Yes.
have noticed this thing, this trend in families, maybe close family or far, or maybe from stories even of some celebrities online.
Yes, I know
There's
that
always issues.
we've seen cases of, especially for guys that are siblings, maybe elder one and the younger one. They were very close, cordial, they do things together. They know them as like they are well bonded.
They are bonded.
So, but as soon as the elderly one gets married and the younger one gets married, you realize that the relationship like starts dwindling, kind of. So it's not always like it used to be. The way they communicate drops, and you now see issues where they will not even want to like relate with one another anymore, and they will feel like, oh, it's the wife, their wives causing the long distance relationship and all of that. Yes, if we take the case study of this P Square, the artists, the P Square, the celebrities, we'll see that both of them, they were cordial. That's how they call
They were able to
themselves
form that
Square.
the
That's
team.
brand, that's name, P Square. But as soon as both of them got married, we realized that we don't know, because allegedly that their wives were the cause of their separation, doing things separately. So when they got married and realized that they started doing things separately, and of recent we saw that one of them wanted to like put it out there that he wants to change his birth date from the real birthday, because he just don't want to share things with the sibling anymore, with the twin. So these are many more, because if this is happening and they are saying that their wives have nothing to do. See, women, if you want to achieve anything, we can achieve it. If you want to get something from our men, we know the strategies, everything that we need to do. So if truly their wives, they are not in support of their separation, they should look for a way to bring both of them together. So that is why we hear that it's their wives that is the cause of their separation. And so this is something that has been happening even in some homes, some families, that you see simply that they have good relationship, they are doing well. And as soon as they get married, the whole thing just goes like haywire, and that bond is no longer there. So I think it's something that even their parents need to also like work on as well. That's just my own take.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know that still is still allegedly. We don't really know what happens in between them. But like for some of us that we've had issues of, like me, I have like 4 brothers. We're 3 sisters, and I've experienced this kind of issue. But let me ask Pastor David also, is it really the wife that always have issue, that they have issue with, or there's something that is hidden that marriage is now exposing it? Maybe there are some issues that they have personally before the woman comes in, because the woman is saying she doesn't know much about the family. She's just coming like an external body coming into the family. So I think, should it be is it always the wife, or maybe they have their own deep issues that maybe they couldn't sort out, and it is the woman that is, maybe the marriage that is now exposing it?
Yeah, thank you. I wouldn't want to say it's a woman. Maybe I would just say maybe they fail to realize and embrace the reality of their new status, marriage. Because they were both single, they are one single, now they are married. So that realities of marriage. For example, if you are not married, even as a female, you can walk into the room of your brother anyhow, do things anyhow. But now you are married, that caution is there. You wouldn't want to. So that reality, and also culture can also do, because I've experienced the place of culture. You're married to an Igbo person, and she doesn't feel that this is necessary. and they are expecting that you should do this. If you are not doing it, that means you are not doing. I mean, these are the siblings. You are not doing your work well, and she doesn't feel I'm doing anything wrong because that's not the way she was brought up. So culture can say it's not necessarily has to do with the woman. I think mostly what I can deduce or what I find out is that the man in question is the man that should be able to put some factors or put some stuff in place. This is how far we can go. This is what is involved. This is what I can do. Let me give my example. When I got married, because of my faith, God told me nobody should live with you for the first 3 years of your life for marriage. It was a big issue.
That's always an issue.
Big issue because I would rather obey God than to obey anybody. So at that point, one of my siblings had a problem and he's married and they have an accommodation problem. So, and I said, sir, I'm sorry, that's the husband. I will not be able to allow this. Just get a place, whatever I can contribute, I will support. He said, just 3 months. And I know it's not going to be 3 months. It was the issue. My mother has told me, say, is it your sister that is the wish now? I said, Mommy, no, it's not about that. And so that is my role. And she came into my home and she wanted to do something. I said, Mommy, you don't do that. I'm now married. There are things I would do. My wife said, no. I said, no, you don't know them more than me. Than me know them. So I think mostly, which I've also learned from my father in the Lord, and mostly it has to do with the man. So if you don't establish your feet, I said something recently, I was posting something on my page. 3 things cause issues in marriage. Number 1, when you place your career above your marriage. You place yourself above your marriage. You place your siblings or your family above your marriage. Not that they don't exist, they don't place them above. If your spouse even get to know you are doing that, he will look at you that I am not important. That this is what you can consider to be important. They are your siblings. I know you didn't drop from sky. You came from a family, but for God's sake, you are starting a new family, a new life. So the man in question has to step his feet down to establish some things that this is how things should be done in this family. Yes, I was a single man before, but I'm married. And it takes my whole being, my whole attention to give the best to this marriage at the end of it. So if the man doesn't take that stance, anything goes.
So that's man taking the stand. You know, this is another issue too that some men really find it difficult to really take a stand, because you know that, okay, your family, you've grown together, you've loved each other. Now you have found love, you are in love. And the woman too will want to take a place. I'm the one, you know, we've seen issue whereby the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law will be having issues. And the mother will be like, except I did not back you.
The one that give back to you.
And the wife will be like, Mama, your time is up. So I'm the one in charge. So that has always been an issue, and it has been an headache for most men to set that boundary between as in putting everybody in their space. So if I may ask you that, between these, is it possible to put one above the other, or is it possible to balance the two together?
Yeah, it varies from family to family.
Okay.
Because there are some family you have to balance it, this issue. You to put them at par is issue. My mom and her sibling, they were doing things together at the time. In fact, they taught my husband, my uncle's wife, and my mother were both twins. They would put the same clothes, do the same thing. All of a sudden, something changed. And so that reality you have to, as a mommy, things have changed. You get, my uncle can leave Lagos by 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. and is coming to Ndosi to come and see my mom. And the problem will not be anything from because you are twin. All right. So it depends on family to family. You can't just say family A with family B. There are some you have to come up. Say this one is important. But the reality is that the wife also have to understand, or let me not use the word, your spouse must understand that you also have a family. Not that I'm placing you above now, the other one is now bye-bye to it. No, we are not saying that. But the reality of it, when it comes to preference, your primary home is first. Either we like it or not. You must place them above, because if anything happens, it's you God will hold responsible, not your family that is there. So, but there are some family, I have to balance it. There are some family that if you say bye-bye to your extended family because of your spouse in the house, you will see when. I'm telling you, there are some wives, they are going through a lot in the hands of their wife, her husband. Husband family. She can't talk, she can't do anything. So the only person she can find solace is her parents or siblings. and they can give her counsel how to do about it. So you must be able to see what is working in your family and how you can place them. But in an ideal situation, your family should come first. That's the truth. And God helping us. I want to round up by the story of John Differ. Anytime I read that story, I told my brother-in-law sometime, who is a pastor, I said, this is what I am looking at. He said, every year, I think should be third generation now, John Differ, like the first American billionaire. He said, every year, like 2 or 3 times, we gather. Either you marry into the family or you are a member of the family before you get married. Every one of us gather to pray. And we share things in common. We share views. And today, not that father have died, then the properties or the, what's it called, all the inheritance he left on God. So there's no issue. They were asking, the guys grow. He said, no, we don't have any problem. Once you get married into the family, we are one. But you can't use that template for another template. They will tell you, this is my family. Go and marry your own family. So it's varying from family to family. But in these situations, I tell you, your primary assignment is your immediate family.
Honestly, this is a very, very serious issue that a lot of people have been having issue in balancing it. And I think a lot of work has to do with the male figure.
Yeah.
Because for a man to say, okay, I want to detach, especially people that they are the only son. Just imagine an only son that is very, very close to the mother.
Very,
just imagine that scenario. And
very hard. That's the truth.
So now a woman now comes and says, fine, you love the wife like she's everything to you. And the woman is already giving you some rules. The woman is like, there's someone that they just want me and my family. You understand?
Me and my family, me and my husband.
Me and my husband. No, that's what I meant by
the immediate family now.
My immediate family. And she's already, and the man is already in the middle of, I love my mom. I love my sisters and I love my wife. I don't know if you can picture that scenario. I think thank God you're a female. In that scenario that this man is already attached. There's sometimes that you already feel the way you feel, the way you see the love, you're already feeling threatened that you see the woman and maybe the sibling as a competitor.
And women, we are naturally jealous.
Yeah, exactly.
We have jealousy in us naturally.
I think we need to really have some, in as much as we want to get married, I think if there are some expectations we need to really realistic expectation.
Yes. Yeah. Because I can remember that when I first got married, when I first had my first child, that my mother-in-law now traveled to Lagos. So when she came, she was always sitting down. She doesn't help me with anything. The only thing she does was to bathe the baby. So once she's done bathing the baby, she said, I mean that I just gave birth now. They used to call it a ratutu. They're not supposed to do any work. So I'll sit down, and for her to even cook, she will not cook. She will not do it. I'll still be the one to go and do it. So I was doing all of these things and I wasn't happy. And I got my husband that, Mama will shake cocoa. Mama will want this one. Just Bomadani. Whatever she's what she can do, she can do. So you're not going to do anything about it. Okay. I didn't see anything. So the thing now kept going on like that. She spent 2 months.
Wow.
You got to a stage that
take it
I was walking and I said, that I'm very, very dramatic. But I'm going to do drama for them in this house today. So what now happened that particular day, I have worked, I've cleaned the house, done everything. She was out with the baby. Just carried baby. Just holding baby alone from morning till night.
It's working.
So when the baby is crying out, we want to breastfeed the baby, to breastfeed the child to sleep, So that day, I now pretended, I don't know. So I was at the corridor, I now pretended like I fainted.
Hey.
Drama queen.
That drama was what saved me. Seriously. So I now fainted. So my husband now said, Mama, I fainted. My mother-in-law did not move. She did not move an inch. I was like, so I now fainted. So my husband came, Kiniko, and what's wrong with you? I'm weak. I've been walking since morning. I've been checking. Today, stand up. So now I had to carry me to the room, lay down. So the mother was not saying it in their Ekiti language. This and that. Mama, kiniko. So I was overhearing what they were saying. And from that day, so after that, the way she now went back to the village. So I now had my second child. When she now came, without telling her, she'll cook, she'll sweep, she'll wash my
Now you
clothes.
faint again.
So I don't know the conversation that my husband had with her, but she did not allow me to hear about it. But I knew that he called her and they spoke at length. But my husband did not let me know that maybe he went to fight for me or anything. So he was wise in that area not to make me feel like or something. So he did that. So when she now came back to Lagos to come and like do a mugo for my second child, and I realized that she now did normal. Like she even did my body for me, everything. She'll call me, she'll cook. So everything now came back to normal. Like without even telling my husband. Sorry. So without even telling my husband. So that's someone being intentional about my wife and my mother. So that's wisdom. If there to be some guys, they'll just feel like, my mother is my mother. Whatever she does, she now. So that's where I feel like men should try to be wise about it. You love your mother, fine. It's just like a scenario that I saw online that the man wanted to go out and the mother was saying that you sit at the front. The wife was saying that she's also going to sit at the front. So the husband has said, it's the wife that should sit at the front. So the wife was even saying that, don't worry, let mama sit there. Let mama sit there. The man said, no, this is your seat. Any other place, so I don't know, but this is your seat. So when the woman now went to the back, said, no, come back to the front. This is your seat. So that's a man taking his stand and ensuring that things are done the right way. So women need to understand their roles in men's life. If I'm a woman, I know that I'm your mother. So there are certain things that I should do and I shouldn't do. If I'm a wife, I know, okay, there are certain things I should do and you should not do. So that's it.
Thank you very much. You want to say something like that?
I just wanted to respond to the idea of this sitting in front and not sitting in front. It's an issue, but I think there are too much of attachment to it. I'm sorry to say. I mean, because that's not what makes your place your place.
Yeah.
Either you sit at the back or in the front, you are the wife. Nothing can change that. What if you want to breastfeed a child? You and your husband are going out. Won't you go back and
that's a different case.
So that's do you go to the back and I say, I'm not the wife. You are still the wife. So I think it's about understanding. I've seen it too.
No, but the mother claiming rights is what I'm saying. The mother claiming rights I have to stand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To me, the husband does well, but you see, it's not an issue. If you don't sit in front, if you want to, no problem. And the mother is not going to be with them forever. And it that's it. You understand. You are still a wife. I've seen no, don't worry. Let the man, for example, it could be a friend of your wife or your husband comes in place. And you now say, no, two of you should sit. You say, I'm not sitting. No, come, it's your place. No. Sit here. It doesn't change me as my wife. I'm still a wife. Even if I sit at the back. So that's why I wanted to respond. So it depends on who is involved. But in reality, you see, the man in question, Sherry, the man is a very important figure in all of these things.
Yeah.
But I've also seen that some men also do to the extreme. They abandon their extended family. They do not care about them because they claim they are not married. At that point, the family will never point finger at their son. They will point finger at the wife. That is the wife that is at fault. So we have to balance it. We are not saying abandon your extended family. You don't care about them. You don't call them. You don't do anything because you are not married. Also, Yahweh I made my language. They will give her a name and she doesn't want it. So you must be able to balance. What we are saying in this show is that your wife is important. You place her or your spouse is important. Place him or her first. It doesn't mean that you now say bye-bye to your extended family. You must know what comes and brings you
spouse comes first.
But it is important, the husband, because I've seen my wife one day tell me, I know, if I comes on local call. And I was, excuse me, what is local call? Because something happened and I get to know and I will not talk about it. So I will not hear, I will keep quiet. No, my issue. I don't want you to talk about it because they will think and later get to understand that language. So it's me, like what your husband did. He didn't get you to know, but I addressed the matter.
Yes.
So next time it's happening, you won't come. I know how to talk to them. They are my siblings. So it's still boiled down to the man.
Yeah.
So you don't have to make your wife feel less. Also
Yes.
give a problem to your wife that you cannot manage at the end of the day. And it was this your drama stuff. That Mrs. Ifunka Adejuwon said something like that. That she created a drama like that too. In her mind, when the husband was given the sibling hot slap, and he was just no.
She was happy.
You understand that you are talking like this. So it's important. Husband has a major role to play, no doubt. But then there has to be a balance. We are not saying bye-bye to you.
And there's some men there's some husbands that they are like mommy's born. They make it so obvious. And they will even be insulting the wife in the presence of the family.
That's what I'm about to say. On this, thank you very much, both of you, on this. What I could see in this is three people playing a major role. Not only the husband alone. I could see the place of the parents, especially the mother, the parent, and the siblings. As maybe a man that has many sisters, maybe the only son, the mother especially, and the sisters of that person, they have a major role to
play. Siblings.
Okay, let me use siblings.
Yes.
The parent and the siblings. If the parent have created a kind of, maybe you have an expectation for your son, and he's not marrying the kind of person you want. That is already creating a toxic environment for that wife that is coming. No matter how good the wife is, they've already painted an image that, okay, we are going to frustrate this woman out of it. So they make a major, they take a major role in that kind of relationship. Then the husband, any husband that does not have a say, that is the mommy's boy, that always go back to the parents for advice on what to do, on even who to marry, will have this issue. And a man that always put his wife down before his family, will always have this issue.
Seriously.
A man that always put his family down before his wife, will always have this issue. So I think, I'm just trying to just segregate everybody's role as in what you should do as a man. A man that can't defend his wife, like your husband, you're right. There's some men that will say that, you're okay now. As you should have been. You should even be pounding out my mom. You should be doing this for my mom. There's some men like that because they are so much obsessed or attached to their parents, and they place their parents, their family over the wife. So the man has a major role. Then my gender. I won't say this without talking about the area of women. There are some women that they've already, there's some women that their mothers have already created an image that, see, this is what your father did to me. Don't take that shit. All men are this. They've used their own template. What did not work for them? They're already teaching their own daughter that, see, don't allow this thing. I think you don't share a story of somebody that was painting a picture that a girl,
that you don't ever tell your husband all that you have.
Can you repeat it?
Yes, it was they went to go and watch a movie together. They are watching a movie together with her friend and the mother in their house. Okay. And then the whole movie now turned to be like a lesson. You see, don't ever. That's the mother of the friend. Now they're telling two of them that don't ever tell your husband whatever you are making financially. If you make 1 million, tell him you are making 100,000. And he said to herself that, "Mommy, is that what you are using in your home?" And the mother said, "Yes." That's the friend. I tell you, and he said he saw her friend nodding her head. He was saying, yes. So, and she knew very well that that's the third husband. That's the third home. The home is not working. And yet, he has been using it. If it's working, why are you having it in your home? So he said, he now has the next question. Mommy, did you work? He just used one side to the advantage. Because of us stare at her face. We request all. You understand? So that kind of lesson, you are painting as if it's a good one because of your bad experience.
Yes.
So that's another thing.
Yeah. So the fact that something didn't work for you doesn't
work for other person.
So as a lady, the question is, who are the people that advise you? Who are the people that you have in your network? The people that gives you advice? Because everybody has people that give them advice. Do you have friends or maybe people that have already created a template that marriage does not work if you do it this way? Or you are looking at a template that, if this thing could work for these people, then I want to pattern my own marriage. So, women too, I remember somebody was telling me that if she were to be me, that she will go and look for a place that is far, far away from my in-laws' place. The lady was saying that to me, that she wouldn't even leave clothes. You know, and there are some women that once they get married like this, they'll just disconnect the man.
Some ladies will even say that they don't wish to marry a man that still has a mother.
That one is even very common. Forgetting that
you also be a mother-in-law.
And your own child too, and your own daughter-in-law to be praying that you should die. They forget that what goes around comes around.
And again, just like what you said, that some people's bad experience, they want to use it to advise someone else. So the fact that maybe your own mother-in-law was bad, so you now use that one, you now pass that same
mother-in-laws
experience to younger ones, that, if you want to get married, though, don't allow your mother-in-law to ride you anyhow to do this. So you too,
you are coming with that already.
You come to the marriage with that mindset. So once you now get married,
the mother-in-law is a suspect.
Once you get into that marriage, you now feel like you now see your mother-in-law as a threat. So that is something that ladies need to be wise. Even if someone is advising you about something, know that advice is coming from an experienced person had. So you should be able to now filter that, okay, if you want it to happen to you, fine. But if you don't want to, say in your mind, that is your own. My own will work out. It's just like someone coming out to say that marriage is a scam, is a lie, marriage doesn't last, and there's always this man. We have people who are married 20, 30, 40 years.
50 years.
Yes.
And it's working.
So it depends on what you want for yourself. And know what someone is telling you based on experience. So you cannot be praying that, your mother-in-law should die before you marry. There was a scenario now that a lady asked the guy that question during their first date. Do you still have a mother? So imagine that kind of a question. So the guy was like, why do you ask? No, I'm just asking. So you will know that one is not a wife material. It's a big red flag. So it's always important that when you are going to the marriage, go with an open mind, free spirit. Know that you are going into another family. What do you have in your mind as expectation? That I'm going to see joy in this home. I'm going to experience peace in this home. So it's what you are telling yourself as you are going into the marriage.
Sorry, and to add to that, I think it's always good to always show your true color before you go. Do you know there are a lot of ladies that they want to pretend to be, I remember one lady that wanted to get married to my brother. Till the smallest, the baby of the house, she will call her brother, uncle. Uncle, they be like,
to me before very well.
You'll be like,
it's also I don't want to tell my mom, I say, why you don't you pay me? That's the way it should be. When we got married.
So I think it's always enough for you to just be yourself. You know yourself. They feel like
will be.
Any home that does not accept you for who you are, there's nothing you do. There are some people that they will be the one to be cooking, doing everything. You know, there are some women that maybe in the husband's house, they will say that it is the wife of the wives that cook, that do olopo. I remember one family that I think maybe it was a wife that was telling me that their family, they don't collect, they don't take olopo, they don't accept olopo, that it is the wives that cook. And they don't use gas cooker, they use,
the culture factor.
You understand? You understand? So these are the things that I think that people should always discuss in what kind of home. They are dating. Are you a family that you really, really gratify culture, tradition? These are the things they do.
Are you a traditional man?
Yeah, these are the things they do. You have to kneel down or do all these things.
For a career person to marry a traditional man, there will be an issue. If you don't have that conversation before me. So big issue.
Let me.
You have to kneel down with your two heels. Kiss me or serve me. And as a career person come here, I cannot kneel down.
Our husband, I would say that they don't eat food from the freezer. They have to eat
daily. And as a career person, you go to work.
Oh my God.
You have to trash it out.
I like this conversation because these are real talk. These are real talk. No, the point is that when you say you don't eat fresh food, you want to, you don't eat
frozen food
or frozen food.
Why they're frozen?
The idea is that you go out, your wife goes out. So how do you want to? Your wife should not go and be cooking by 10 or 12 midnight. What time will you not eat? You have to also talk to yourself in this thing. Break. So the husband, the wife, they have their role to play. But to the singles, you see, this idea of calling someone that will get you off it and this is the respect, auntie, uncle, whatever. Forget that one. That true color never come. He doesn't have a children or a child yet. he's never been a pregnant woman yet.
Yes.
And these are reality. So when you are still single, those things are not there. But now you are getting married, you're now getting pregnant, you are going to be a mother, you understand the nursing period is there. Things are getting your attention more than just your husband. Your child is getting your attention. Your career is getting your attention.
Yeah.
You have things to manage. These are reality. So it is this, the flurry of these things goes on the mind of the woman. And then you have to be a woman of the house. So this is the reality that you have to ask yourself, man, I will not, like you said, I will not allow this thing to feel in my hand. I just want to make it work. We are not saying
The
success in
mindset.
marriage is like this. It requires work.
Yeah.
But if you don't ready to give it to it, you will never experience success in it. So to the women, you must tell yourself, either I am a mother, or I'm going to be a career person for this home, I will make it work. Whatever I can, I've seen a woman who will tell you, they can look in me. And it's been real. But because of the problem of the family, the one decide to just break
cut
up
off.
because
Yeah,
he knows his family more than you.
Yeah.
I'm talking of spiritual issues. That now I can't go back there again. No, you have to.
And the wife might feel like maybe they will blame.
Yes,
on
now
the wife.
they will. He was already thinking this. And one time, okay, let's go and meet our pastor. So from there, understand when I get no. You not get them understand. So, but if the wife didn't initiate that, it will look as if it's a normal thing. And it's good. So both husband and the wife, they have role to play to make sure that family work at the end of the day. God will help us.
Thank you. So I think this is part of the conversation that people should always have during courtship. That we often overlook some of these things. Like in courtship, I think it's not bad for you to talk about some major things. Like, okay, what kind of family do you come from? Are you family that believes in family get together? Okay,
Reunion.
like December.
Yeah, everybody comes to a particular house.
Bring on, you have to talk about this so that if you are somebody that you just want me and my children, want to, because these are the things that causes issue. Are you a man that are you a man that you want to eat fresh food? Talk about it and let the lady. Don't say because you don't want to lose the man. You don't want to.
You are in love.
You are in love because by the time you are in love and the man is demanding that I want to be eating fresh and for. I love to be
Every
eating
day.
swallow. I don't like to be eating rice. You understand? So these are the things that people shy away from. Are you somebody that even if I put it to matter of sex? What is your own sexual exploration? How do you want to explore sexual life? These are the things that people don't talk about. And by the time it begins to show up and it begins to happen, you feel like, okay, it is the wife or it is the husband, it is the in-law. And the truth is there's no family that will see that their son is not happy. And they know that it is because of the wife. That they won't want to be on the side of the husband. Yeah. And there's no woman too that the family will see that the man is treating her badly and they'll be happy. So I think these are the places where we need to really have good conversation before we even go into that journey, as in have deeper conversation and observe things. I think all the time that you are going to the husbands, that maybe you just go and meet the family, the way they approach you, the way they welcome you, the way they accept you, you should know. And there are sometimes
they want you or not.
There's a way the disposition will make. They want to study that is this person, is he respectful? Does he kneel down? Does she kneel down? I remember something. My husband, when he first came to my late sister's house, the husband was reading newspaper. And the husband came, the husband is late too. So he went to buy fuel and he carried it in the bucket and he just entered the shop. And my husband he just greeted him, welcome, sir. And he continued reading the newspaper. After that time,
He didn't collect the fuel.
He didn't collect it though. After that time, I heard like that boy is proud. Is that the kind of man you are bringing home? He can't even say bring that clinical as in. And my husband is they call it ajo. He doesn't know how to do all those things.
Like eye service.
You understand? So he would just want. It took them a while before they could understand that this is the kind of person he doesn't have. If you tell him that might carry you to, but for him to now say, let me carry you. So it gave me a time to, this person, what kind of family did they come from? There are some men that they came from family of, it is the house that does everything.
Yeah.
You don't know, and you expect that man to be the one fetching water for you.
No.
You are not comparing him to be the one that will be doing something. He won't do it because he doesn't know how to do it. Yeah. So, these are the things that we observe, upbringing. We have different upbringing and understanding the person you want to marry. Is this somebody that wants to bring the mother that wants to, there are some men that they will tell you that I want my mother to live with me once she's old. And if you're a wife that you can't tolerate that, you have to talk about it. So I think God will help us. Honestly, this is very, very crucial discussion. And before we just wrap it up, let's just have one word from each of us for the people, for the family, for the siblings, for the man or the wife, because it happens to wife, to women. So there's some men that they will be married into a family, and once they get there, they want to be the family. They will be like, oh, see, Anonie, don't cross this boundary.
Yeah.
You understand? If you don't
want
understand
your wives to even visit.
You understand? Yeah. So I think we need to really understand all this so everybody will know their role to play. So let me have it from you for before.
Okay, briefly in 1 minute. My message is to both, I'll say to both men and women. So starting from the ladies, if you want to get married, make sure that you are not the reason why there is an issue in the family. Be someone that is bringing more bond in the family, that is bringing love, that is bringing joy. That they will say that. That's why you say that it's not when you now enter the family that this family will not scatter. So if you enter the family and the family scatters, you know that you are not a good influence in that family. So when you are getting married, erase every negativity or anything that you've been told about marriage. Go with a fresh mindset that your own will work out and things will go well. And you also put in the work and ensure that things go well in your marriage. So as for the men, we have some men that once they get married to their wives, they will shut the door of families. They will not want them because I have
even the wife's family, right?
Yes. They will not allow the wife to visit the family, no connection, no bond. So because there is one case that I have with me now, both of them are separated because the husband will constantly tell the wife that her mother is a witch. So she doesn't want her to go to
the wife. She's a witch for you.
Which did he see it in the vision?
Why was it?
Because he wants to cut every. No, it's just
but jokes apart now. But in some reality, it is for the. It could be for real.
I think the man maybe saw it in a vision, or a pastor saw it in a vision. They told him. And even if you want to tell your wife that the mother is a witch, there are ways you tell your wife. It's not by saying maybe during argument. Your wife, your mother is a witch.
Pastor, no. Teach us how to be diplomatic.
This case, in this case,
or the husband, though.
No. In this case, the mother is not the witch because as soon as that man got married to that lady, he told the lady that he doesn't want her to communicate with anybody. All the contacts on her phone. Like, doesn't want her to relate with anybody. He will lock up the lady in the house. The lady does not do anything.
No, that one is
lock up the lady in the house from morning till night. No visitor must come. Nobody. Insecurity. So now, they are both separated. They are both separated because it couldn't work anymore. Because the mother later heard that it was even confronted the mother that no, you are the cause because they are waiting. You are the cause of our infertility. So we don't want you to come again. So the mother was now, and that was the only child. The lady was the only child. So the mother was just crying. I almost went into depression. But later they separated because the man was even abusive. So look at situations like that. See, if you find yourself in that situation, I'm not saying divorce, so just go your separate ways.
Thank you very much. You know, that area that you talked about is another crucial area which I want Pastor David to really end up with and just talk about it. In a situation where the man, for real, the man is trying to protect the wife from her family. And he's saying, see, for us to move forward, you have to cut off from the family. There are some that maybe it's a divine instruction. Or it's vice versa. Maybe the wife maybe God gives the wife intuition, spiritual guide that, okay, your family don't like you. Your mother is this and as in, is there a diplomatic way to say, okay, your family is bad, or your mother is bad, your father is bad? Is there a diplomatic way to do that? You know, so that it won't come, because there's nobody that they will call the mother a witch. And all you understand people that you've grown up with and they didn't kill you when you were young. There's nobody that will take that lightly. So
that's what I wanted to say. That there's no man or woman that will accept that, except the person by himself or herself get to know that this is true. You know, they will tell you that if they were witch, why can't they kill me before?
Before we got to that.
But the truth of the matter is that we cannot rule that fact out. It does happen. And it has to be by virtue of revelation. So if you have not gotten to the level of, maybe your spouse have not gotten to the level of hearing God by himself, you have to now see for a spiritual authority you can confide in. But mostly, most time, let me use that word, most time, it's just by virtue of your perception. It's not really that the person is bad.
Maybe because you have issues with that
You
person.
get what I'm saying? Because I've seen situations where eventually the pastor will say, no, I don't say anything. There's nothing wrong about this person. There are issues. Not this person. There's other things you are looking at. It's not even this person. This person you are painting is not it. You know, so you have to be very, use the word diplomatic. Don't confront your spouse. Don't try to be protective in that level. He will react or she will react. That's the truth. So if you have not got the level where if it's your spouse that get to know it, you will know that he's the one that is even saying, no, don't let go there. But you now want to influence him to abandon the parents or family because of your own perceptions that they are evil. You will never and she will never take it. So there's no diplomatic way until the man or the woman gets to know that this is bad or this is, because I've seen situations like that. It's the woman that said, no, I don't want to go to mommy. Don't let us go. And God is showing the same thing to the wife or to the husband. And I say, it's true. No go area for now. And the day they're trying to be nice in quote, they see the effect. You get what I'm saying? So it happened. But don't ever think your confrontations is what will give a problem or give a solution to it. It's not to be right.
Thank you very much. Don't say that. You know, we've seen some people that they will know of a truth that their parents or God that they are wicked or they have some, maybe their family, and they will still want to still stay there. And I think in that case, the only thing the spouse can just do is just to pray.
That's the way to prayer.
Because you know that your pain, your family is bad, the toxic is affecting you, and you are still there.
You can't even use physical way.
So in such, I think in such way, you just have to.
How do you want to prove it that they are wish?
You understand,
so it has to be spiritual.
You are defaming them, honestly. This is a very, very important conversation that I think people would learn something from and they will grow with it, honestly, because keeping a family together, family bond, it's very difficult to keep family together because it causes issue. I've seen it so many times that once a woman comes in, most especially, you just see that siblings that have been flamed together, they just disconnect and everything just go opposite side. God will help us and God will help everyone. For everyone, it's always important. Like I talked about communication before even going to the marriage. The family you are going into. They say that ìyàwó gidi ṣe é fẹ́, àná gidi ni ò ṣe é fẹ́. You might have a good wife but a bad in-law. You understand? So what you think you can't sustain, and you know that your partner does not want it, even right from when you are dating, I think it's a red flag for you if you know that this is not going to work.
Sorry, I remember something now.
Okay.
A mother-in-law arrested his son. A mother arrested his son for beating his wife.
For beating his wife, his
daughter-in-law.
Wow.
Lock him up. And he locked him up and was like, I am not locking my son up. I'm locking
a
criminal up.
Wow.
So you mean you would choose your son, you would choose your daughter-in-law over your son? No. I'm not choosing my daughter. I'm choosing my daughter-in-law over a criminal. You can imagine. So that's, and I said, wow, this is not too common. They say, mainly they want to support your own. And that's how it should be. Your brain is
doing the right thing.
It's just doing the right thing. The other say that there's no way you can take a daughter-in-law and say she's your daughter. And there's no way you can take a son-in-law that she's your son.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Because two are now one.
Because that woman is looking at it from the perspective of this is somebody else's child.
Yeah.
It could be my own child. So if you look at that person, that if it is my child, will I look
treating
this way? Would I stand it? So I think that's a mindset that a lot of people, a lot of us should really, really think about that. Okay, how about if it is my own? If she's my mother, if it's my mother, how will I treat them?
Yeah,
if a daughter-in-law can look at the parent too, like, how about if this is my mother, how will I treat her? Will I pray for my mother to die? Will I pray that my mother should not feel free? There are some mothers that they don't even feel free in their own son's house. You understand? I think we talk about boundaries too.
Yeah.
As a mother, you to know boundaries.
Very important. Know your limits. It's very important.
Don't try to go out. I remember there was a mother-in-law that was asking the son that
need to know everything.
Why didn't they tell her that they want to get pregnant, that they are pregnant, that the gap between their children, I was like,
They should come and tell her if you
want some people are so control freak.
I have it in my
They want to know everything about. So please, as mother-in-law, as sisters, if you are a sister, know that one day you two, you are going to marry someone into another family. How do you want them to treat you?
Yes.
And as a mother, how do you want them to treat your own daughters too? So when we look at it in these ways, I think it's going to help us to know, because if we see some wicked sister-in-laws, if I pray you don't even,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting in. She's the wicked sister-in-law to my wife. I've never seen, because that's why I say man in that context.
Taking your space, you're taking your stand.
You now expect me to disrespect my wife? You should have disrespect me now.
Yes, now.
You can't tell me that you like me and you not hate my wife. We are both one.
So I think everybody has role to play. The mother-in-law, the sisters, the siblings as a whole. Then the husband, you have a role to play. The husband or the wife, don't trash your family before your spouse, and don't trash your spouse before your don't talk that on them before each other. And as son-in-law and daughter-in-law, know your boundary to understand the system of the family. Is this a system you would love to raise your children with? Is it a system you love to marry into? Then, once you understand all these things, and like she rightly said, that discard all those mindset, all those mindset blocks you have already built about, this is how my mother, they treated my mother this way. When you don't carry all this past experiences from other people into your own marriage, it's going to help you. So discard them, start on a new page. And I see your marriage working. I see your home working. I see love, unity, bond, as in coming together in families that are already broken. In Jesus' mighty name. Thank you very much, Ms. Tosin. Thank you, Pastor David, for always coming. And thanks to all our viewers. So if you have questions on this, you have experience you want to share with us, please just do drop it in the comment box below. And don't forget, please subscribe. See that my voice is low and a job. Subscribe to my page. I'm still targeting 1,000 followers. Please subscribe to my channel. Share this video with somebody that needs to see it. I'm Bunmi Alabi. Until I come your way again next time for another interesting episode of Just a Chat, I'm saying have an amazing day. Bye.